When it comes to having a small space, every detail matters. Today, I'm showing the very best small space finds from Ikea, and we're exploring some non-traditional uses. So you probably haven't even heard some of these hacks before, and I know there's going to be so much value packed in today's video. Please smash that subscribe button and hit that bell ding for your notifications so that you can come back each and every week, 2 times a week, for more videos that teach you how to achieve the luxe look for less. Now let's head to Ikea. I want to start off today's video with furniture because Ikea has so much furniture, and it can be very difficult to differentiate what you should pick up and what you shouldn't, especially when you're in a small space. First up, we have this love seat, which is only $149. It comes in 2 colorways, and size-wise, it's about 48 inches wide, so it is perfect for the end of a full-size bed, a queen-size bed, even a king-size bed if you are in a small space. One of the best studio apartment hacks is to actually put your seating right at the base of your bed. It creates a really nice room divider, and it allows you to put your TV in one central location. This love seat is also super useful because of its legs, so it is elevated off of the floor, so there is space to have some hidden storage underneath, so you can get storage on sliders and put your extra blankets or clothing or whatever you want underneath. And it also can accommodate a C table, so if you want a side table, and I'll share a few in a little bit, you can just put it along the side there so that it's not taking up too much floor space. And speaking of a C-sides table, this is a great one from Ikea, so it's a little bit pricey, but I love the glass top, and this is very sturdy. Oftentimes C-side tables are kind of wobbly, but that hasn't been the case with this one. I know because I have purchased it. This is super space saving because of its C shape. It'll fit on the arm of a sofa or an accent chair or something like this, so it doesn't take up floor space. And if you don't want to hide it under a piece of furniture, you can just kind of rotate it so that it kind of goes parallel with the arm of your seating and really minimizes the space that it occupies. Also, when you're in a small space, glass is your friend. So normally I don't recommend glass because the cleaning of it is such a pain. But since glass is see-through, it creates the illusion that something isn't taking up as much space as it actually is, making it very useful for making a small space feel larger. Next, I want to talk about this wall desk. It is $110, and wall desks are great if you don't have a horrible landlord. So that is the caveat here. So again, it's $110, and this is really wonderful because the desk will fold up and fold down. So you can have it sitting completely flush with the wall when you're not using it, and then you can lift it up when you want to put it in use. If you are living in a studio or an apartment by yourself, or just a small space by yourself, or you just have one other person, this is perfect because you can both sit there to have dinner if you want to, but this is also great for a desk, as a vanity, etc. Plus there is storage up top as well, so this could be your spice cabinet if you're using this in your dining area, or this can be your office space if you're using this for an office. This is super versatile, and I love that it isn't always up and out and in your face. This storage coffee table is $250, which is not a trivial sum of money, especially for a place like Ikea, but the storage in this is wonderful. This is a coffee table that you should pick up if you're not a big dining room person. You want to eat at your coffee table, then this is the coffee table before you, because there's tons of storage. There's storage on either side of this table. It comes in 2 different colors, and you can put your remotes, you can put your plates, you can put your utensils in the sides of that coffee table, and no one has to know. It's not even very obvious that it is a storage table, which I love. So if you want to use that as your safe, you can even go ahead and do that. But again, this isn't really small. So if you're gonna try and do a coffee table and a dining setup, I wouldn't get this coffee table. But if you're not a dining person, you want storage in your coffee table that isn't so open and apparent, because a lot of times storage coffee tables, you can see all the things and it creates like a clutter bug. This is the perfect option for you. This is another desk that I think you're going to love, and it is only $30. So the beauty of this desk is, one, it's only $30, and it's perfect for a small space. So it's not very wide at all, but there is 1 shelf, so you can put your work items in there, you can put your beauty items there if you want to, and there's area underneath for an ottoman or whatever type of seating you'd like to add. If you do not want to use this as a desk, this would be great for a small entryway, so you have a place to put your keys and your purse and things like that. I might put some hooks above it and maybe a mirror that has hooks built in maybe, and then you have an ottoman that can be a storage ottoman, really maximizing that space. Now, if you want to use this as a desk in your living area, one of the best things you can do is not actually have an ottoman for it. Have an accent chair that contributes to the living room, and then when you are working, use that accent chair as your desk chair to make sure that your desk chair is actually comfortable, because a lot of times they're horribly uncomfortable, and that's the space we actually want to be the most comfortable in. This is actually a new Ikea find, and if you haven't seen my video on new Ikea finds, there are over 60 plus of them in that video. Click here to go check it out. But this is a laptop stand. It's only $90, and I almost brought this home with me. You're going to love this if you like to stand and sit when you are working. This is perfect if you like to move around your apartment as you work. You're not someone who likes to stand still and work in one place all day long, especially if you're a work from home person. This is wonderful. It goes up and down, so it's a sit stand desk, but it isn't plug in. It actually just has a lever, so you don't have to have good proximity to outlets or anything like this. And it even has casters on it, making it very, very, very useful, especially if you want to work from home, but you don't want your office to be something that's really front and center in your space. If you want some type of storage and you don't mind it being somewhat open, this is a great storage table. This has been trending big time. There's a side table version and there's a coffee table version. This is about $89, which I personally feel like is a lot for the price of this, but if this is your style, you might want to pick it up. It does have a fabric basket and then a wooden veneer top, so it's great if you're into the mid-century modern or something that has a little bit more of an organic touch to it. This is also really great if you have a dog that has a million toys and you have nowhere to put them. This is a great way to store their toys, or if you have kids with plushy toys that you kind of want to store really, really, really well in your living room, but still have it be a really good play area. This is a great option for you as well. But this side table will probably be one of the more popular ones because it is so on trend. So the vintage and the retro are very, very popular right now in terms of interior design, but those items are incredibly expensive. Ikea has actually been bringing back a lot of their vintage styles, and this is really inspired by that. So this side table is bright red, so very on trend, very vibrant, very homey. It is 2-tiered, so there's tons of storage in there. It's open storage, so you could use this for your plants, your books, your work materials, doesn't matter. And then you can just use some boxes to kind of close it up a little bit to make sure that you have a little bit of privacy and you stay organized. Now, dining tables aren't super common in small spaces because the reality is most people who don't have kids don't eat at the dining table. But if you want a dining table, you have kids, or you just like to eat at a dining table, that's how you grew up, no problem. This one is $149 and really, really great because it's very simple. When you're dealing with a small space, I often find that simple is best because it's not super distracting. So this is really great. I probably would get dining chairs with a lower back. I know that isn't always the most comfortable, but when you're in a small space, the more sightline you can keep clear, the bigger the space looks and feels. So something with a lower back would really, really suit this dining table so that it can almost sit almost entirely underneath the dining table when that table isn't in use. And if you want to blow away your guests and yourself and stay super organized and achieve the luxe look for less, you're going to love this side table. So this is only $50, and this is a dupe for the Restoration Hardware Cloud bookshelf. So basically this bookshelf sits behind your sofa and acts as a room divider. So this is great because it's a room divider that's also multifunctional. And I often am anti-room divider because they don't serve an additional purpose and just take up space. And they are very, very, very costly. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But this one is really perfect because it is a bookshelf and it is a divider. So you can use this behind your sofa if you want to, but you could also use this at the base of your bed and actually put some type of fabric on top of it with like a plush cushion. You could just go to your local Joann or Michael's and DIY this, and you can use this to sit at the end of your bed as like a built-in bench. You can also use this to create a little banquette situation in a corner of your apartment if you want a true dining area. And this is a really, really, really great way to maximize your small space while adding some storage. Now, we've talked a lot about desks and living room furniture, but let's talk a little bit about bedroom furniture. So you guys know this, I am a huge fan of using dressers as nightstands because they maximize space and they eliminate the need for a dresser. So does the nightstand take up more space? Yes, but you don't have to dedicate an entire wall to a dresser, which is what ends up happening. The first recommendation I have is this Copang 3-drawer dresser. I know it's great because I have it in my own home and I use it as nightstands in my space, and it really, really, really pared down my need for massive dressers. I still do have massive dressers, but I'm working on it, okay? I don't need them, they're just a want. So what's really great about these is they're only $120. Tell me the last time you saw a nightstand for under $120 that was made this well. I'll wait, because the answer is nowhere. So these are really wonderful. They come in 2 different colors. You have the white and the black brown, and all you have to do is change out the hardware to make them look a little bit more high end. If you want something a little bit cheaper, they have this one as well. This is a 3-drawer nightstand. It's only $80. The legs of this are a little bit off to me, but I would probably add some LED lighting inside of it to really take it to the next level and achieve that hotel look for less. And you can even make it motion sensor so that when you get out of bed, you have that lighting to kind of guide you to the bathroom or something like that, so that you're not totally awoken in the middle of the night, and you don't have to have any type of floor lighting, which takes up precious floor space. The only downside about this one is I'm not quite sure where you would add additional hardware, so you'd kind of have to make do with the weird holes that Ikea's put in them. And of course, everyone's favorite DIY option, the rest chest, is only $50 and great for small spaces because it is an unfinished wood. So you can stain it, you can paint it, you can really make it yours. outdoors. And again, they work as nightstands. They can also work as side tables, as dressers, and don't be afraid to put like your dresser in your living room if you're in a small space or something like that. It really is only a few steps. You can get dressed in a different room and it might actually maximize space in your home. Now, like I said, we're going to explore some non-traditional uses of items. So first, they have this privacy screen for their outdoor collection and it's $95. So it's not super cheap, but this is really great if you want some form of like room divider that gives you that slatted look that's really been taking over the internet. But you could also use this as a headboard. So what I really love about this is it has its stand, so it will stand up on its own. So you can use this behind your bed as a headboard, and if you wanted to move it, maybe put it on casters or something and use it as a room divider, you could also rotate it around, put it on casters, and make it a lot more functional in that way. These end head shelves are also $145, which is not cheap, but one, they are metal, making them super sturdy for IKEA, and two, they are massive. So if you're looking for really tall shelves, this is the way to accomplish that look entirely from IKEA. Plus, it allows you to maximize that vertical space, and I often find that in small spaces, people keep everything really low profile, again, trying to make it a very pleasant visual experience, but you're losing all of that precious storage space, and you can maximize and take advantage of that with these shelves. IKEA's complement collection is perfect if you have a small space. So first, we have this hanger. It can accommodate so many things. It's only around $9. You can use this hanger for scarves, belts, necklaces, you name it. It's a great way to get everything all on one hook. They also have the complement drawer dividers that go with the pack system. I have the IKEA packs and love it, and let me know down in the comments if you want me to make you a video on the IKEA packs, because we were able to hack it and get the price way down and make it look super high end and luxe. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see that video. But these dividers are insane. So they really vary in terms of price, which is why I did not share the pricing, but they have ones for necklaces, for watches, for bras, for this, for that. So no matter what you want, this is a great way to divide not only your packs if you have an IKEA packs, but really any type of drawer that you have. Just measure and then go to the store and create a configuration that works for you. Now, in the same area, you'll also find this clothes bar, which is only $8. So clothes bars are wonderful for really maximizing the closet. Again, it allows you to use more of that vertical space, because a lot of the time there's only one clothes bar and you're like, okay, what about these extra 2 feet of space? You want to maximize that and just put like a step stool in your closet so that you can do so, and then some motion sensor or LED lighting. What I love about this clothes bar is you can use it for clothes, but you can also hang plants on it if you want to. You could also use some type of chain to display artwork if you wanted to. These are really multifunctional, and you can even use these as like a curtain rod in your bathroom if you wanted to do something like that, or even for your towels if you really wanted to keep the price down. A great way to upcycle something like this is to just grab some rub and buff and make it your own. I'm gonna be honest, these hooks are a little bit expensive at $28, but I love these hooks because they have 3 different slots on them, so you can put all of your jackets, your purse, your keys, all of that on these hooks in your entryway. In any small space, and really in any space, a tabletop ironing board is a must. So this one is only $8, and it ensures that you can iron your bedding, your clothing, whatever on an ironing board, because let's face it, steaming just doesn't give the creases in the same way, and sometimes we need to bring out that iron. But what I love about this is, one, you can do it on a tabletop, so it doesn't take up that much space in your closet. You can even fit it in a drawer, and it does hang up. So you can hang it in a closet, just with like all those clothes I just told you about. So it doesn't have to be a big bulky item, which I often find it to be, which resulted in me having wrinkled clothes for way longer than I'd like to admit. Now I want to move into wall decor a little bit. So in the kitchen section of IKEA, you will see these rails that are only $6 a piece, and these are great for, like they do at IKEA, holding silverware, holding items, but this could also be great for displaying wall decor. You can put hooks on your wall decor so that you can kind of hang it up. You can even use this to create a gallery rail to display your artwork, which is always really beautiful and reclaims all that tabletop space for functional items while still allowing you to display the things you know and love. Another great way to display items is via this picture ledge. So this really ranges in prices depending upon the color you get and the size you get, but these are really wonderful. The only downside is you do have to use drywall anchors for these. I've tried to hang them with command strips and something like that. They just become too heavy because of the distribution of weight. So if your landlord won't allow this, I'd probably pass on these, but picture ledges are a great way to layer artwork and again, take up that wall space. The next thing I want you to get up on the wall is this wall sconce. So this wall sconce is $40. It's wicker, so it's great for the modern organic, the vintage inspired, the modern traditional, the boho. It really works for so many different interior design styles, and it is plug-in, so no hard wiring required. And this is a great way, again, to illuminate the space without taking up precious space. What I'd probably do is I'd use one of those 3-drawer dressers as my nightstand, put this above my nightstand so that I have lighting, but my entire tabletop is just plain functional. So I can have my phone, my drinks, my laptop, all that taking up that space while still having a well-decorated and well-lit space. And if you want smaller lighting, this small light is really fantastic. It's about $20, comes in so many different colors. They have these in every luxury hotel. Let me just highlight Soho House. They are big on these in Soho House. I realize this every time I stay there. This is a great way to just do some reading at nighttime without waking up your spouse or your partner or whoever else is in a space, which can be really, really wonderful. And now I'd like to finish off the video with storage and kitchen items, because this is my favorite section of IKEA. You're going to get the best bang for your buck here, and these things are kind of revolutionary. So first up, we have these nested bowls. Nested bowls are fantastic because they all stack within one another. Plus, these are not just basic nested bowls. These come with tops, and I love that because you can shred cheese in here, right, while you're cooking, and you can just put the top on and store it in that same bowl, making it multifunctional and eliminating the need to buy a bunch of Tupperware in addition to these bowls. And I do really love this grater. So this is kind of a take on that trendy grater, like the one that you smash down that we've talked about before. And if you want to see my favorite kitchen gadgets, click here to go check out that video. But this is a smaller version of that because it grates into a container. So it's very much so the same thing. It's a grater and storage container in one. So you can basically just save time on doing dishes and save space because it's an all-in-one sort of thing. Next, we have this mini oven mitt. So mini oven mitts are really great because oven mitts, for some reason, take up a lot of space. I'm always fighting with mine. They take up so much space unnecessarily. So these are really wonderful, as are these mini tongs. Again, tongs, because of how they expand, they can take up a lot of space if you don't close them properly. So these are really nice and small. I think they're $3 or $4 for the set of 2, which is really a great deal. I also want you to pick up this wall-mounted trash can. If you're working with a small bathroom, which many people are, most of my audience is in New York City, and I know you guys struggle with the small spaces there. This is really awesome because, again, you can just get everything up on the wall, and it is pushed to open and close, so you don't have to be exposed to your trash all the time, but you can hide it behind your toilet or to the side of your toilet. Next, we have this cutting board, which is $20. And of course, you can get any cutting board, but the reason why this one is great for small spaces is that it is elevated a little bit, so you can store some items underneath. A lot of people tend to use these on cookbooks, hide things in between the cookbook and the cutting board, and then display something like salt and pepper shakers or something like that on top of the cutting board, making it super useful and versatile. I've even seen people flip this upside down and use this as a bookend or something like that to hold their books on their coffee table or side table when they don't have a proper bookshelf. And truly, every small space needs a Lazy Susan. This one is only $18, and basically it rotates around, which is what a Lazy Susan does, making sure that you can access everything without having to pull everything out. I think this is really great in a laundry area. This can also be super useful in the kitchen if you have the space to accommodate this for your spices or something like that. And this one goes without saying, but if you have a small space, you need to have IKEA bags. They're only $1 a piece and they are massive. I use this for groceries, home decor projects, everything, because they are super heavy duty. These are really wonderful for your laundry. You don't necessarily need a hamper. This is great for lugging up your groceries, so you don't have that cabinet full of reusable bags that take up so much space. Even though you're trying to be more sustainable, which I love, you only really need one, and you can use it for all of the different things. And last but not least, you need this set of 3 cable holders for only $2. These are great for sequestering all of your cords. So if you have an iPad cord, a phone cord, a computer charger, you can basically lay them all up flush against your nightstand or something like that, so you can have perfect cord management, because nothing ruins a small space quite like poor cord management. It can really ruin a space because you're tripping over stuff and you're always moving things out and about. And if you can get yourself really organized, I promise you your small space will really come together really beautifully. That's it for today's video though. Those are the best small space items at IKEA. I didn't touch on the really popular items like the Calyx or the Billy, because we already know about those, right? I wanted to share some newer items, some items you maybe didn't think about when you were decorating your small space that I think are going to have a huge impact for you. What other small space items do you love from IKEA? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And again, if you came up with other uses for any of the items I mentioned, be sure to sound off in the comments and let us know how you use them so that we can learn from one another. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications, because I have new videos every single week that talk all about how to make your house feel like a home. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and until next time, have a beautiful day.